Hey, what's up everyone? As you guys probably already know, by now Cor OS 3.0 was released on Wednesday the 31st, and with it came the long-awaited PCOM or plugin compatibility. And really, it's just such an exciting time right now to be a Quad Cortex owner. Now, I know some of you guys have been frustrated in the past with the device because of the release schedule for some of these features, and it's been a lot of delays and other things like that. But with this update, Neural have made good on all of their promises that they initially made with the Quad Cortex. So even though it was certainly a longer wait than all of us would have liked, at least they have kept true to their word, and they're going to continue to throw out new updates with plugins and other features to bring even more out of this device. Another really exciting surprise that I think was really cool and that I wasn't expecting is that if you are a Quad Cortex owner, make sure that you sign into your Neural account after updating your Quad Cortex and head over to the link in the description below because Neural DSP are giving away one plugin of your choice to every Quad Cortex owner as a thank you. So for me, I was able to get Archetype Plini for absolutely free. So definitely drop the plugin that you're going to get down below so that way we can see what's the most popular plugin. Now, unfortunately though, as I had mentioned in my previous videos, I don't own either Plini or Gojira, which are the two that are going to be compatible with PCOM right out of the gate. So I'm not going to be able to do comparisons between the plugins and the Quad Cortex plugins, but fortunately, there's a lot of great videos out there from other content creators, so you're going to be able to see what that's like on their videos, but if you stick around here, you'll be able to see some of the other features that are coming to everybody. So let's get started straight ahead by heading over to the desktop and playing on Cortex Control with the Quad Cortex running Cor OS 3.0. Let's go ahead and just create a new one from scratch. So right now, you can see that we have a blank signal chain. So what we're going to do is just start off by first using the input gate for our input one. We'll probably do something a little bit more complicated than just one line. So I think we're going to change this to be row 3, and then we'll have this one be our multi-out. All right, so first off, let's go ahead and add in an amp block, playing around with the diesel. So we'll go diesel Hisbert, we'll do channel 2. For cab, let's throw in, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with an IR. Go with dual stereo, so let's see. Okay, so that sounds pretty decent as a starting point. It's a little bit bassy though, so I'm gonna drop the bass by quite a bit. I think we're gonna bump the mids just a touch, boost the treble just a touch. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so I think that sounds like a pretty good starting point to me. I should mention too that I'm using my Acoustasonic Jazzmaster since that's kind of the only guitar that I have up here. So it is a bit of an unconventional guitar, but we'll get through it. All right, so obviously this stuff is nothing new. So let's go ahead and start playing around with some of the new things. So right off the bat, you're going to see that we have a plugins option here. So as you can see for me, since I don't own either of these plugins, they're both locked, but you can go ahead and purchase them. And if you do so, you're going to be getting access to all of this stuff. So you'll get some pretty cool new cab blocks. You're going to be getting some new amps. Distortions, delays, all of that good stuff. But again, since we don't have that, we're just going to skip through that. And we're going to go here to utility. So let's see what we have new in here. So We have a new adaptive gate, which is able to be sidechained. So that is something that is actually really, really, really cool. So essentially what sidechaining is that you can tell that particular block to listen to a particular region of your signal chain. So that could be your input, it could be the output of another effect or something like that. And so this will just give you a lot more control over your sound and over tone shaping and other things like that. Plus, you can also get some really nice modern metal staccato type stuff if you use the gate after an amp block. So let's just go ahead and throw that on and see how that works. So let's put this after our IR block, and we're going to be doing our source to input 1. So basically what this is saying is that it's going to be reading our input 1, which has the noise gate on it. So basically only whenever we're playing, we're going to be hearing noise. When we're not playing, it should be pretty much dead silent. And unlike when you're putting a gate before the amp, where you're maybe going to be getting some very low frequency, low volume noises coming through, with this, it should pretty much clamp down right away. So let's see how this sounds. So I think we could go a little bit more. Let's go maybe 60%. Yeah, so that clamps down pretty fast. So yeah, so that's really pretty cool, actually. So if you guys are into any of that sort of metalcore stuff where you're going to be doing a lot of really fast, intricate things with a lot of stops, this will definitely be a really cool addition for you. All right, so let's go ahead and play around with some more things. So another thing that was added new is the doubler. So this is going to give you a sense of multi-tracking, basically, like you're playing with two people at the same time. Now, I know some people have mentioned that sure, it's not going to sound exactly like multi-tracking because your pick attack is going to be exactly the same. I think that would be a really cool thing if Neural could actually implement something where it modulates your pick attack from, say, like 50% to 100% or something like that. So that way there's some variation in the sonic characteristics of what you're recording. But I mean, I still think either way, it's really cool that we have something like this built in now. So we can leave the spread on, say, 6 milliseconds, just leave everything as default. You can also sidechain this, so that's kind of pretty cool, but we're going to leave that off for right now. And so right away, we can hear that that sounds a lot bigger. It's more spacious. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You can obviously, of course, play around with this a bit if you want to have it even more delayed. You can add in a little bit more delay. But, I think if you go too much, it's going to sound a little bit weird. So, but yeah, so you can also change the levels a bit if you want to have the doubled effect be a little bit louder and have your source level be just the same. So you can definitely play around with it a bit. Like I said, obviously it's not going to sound exactly like double tracking because you're not going to be having variability of human error in playing, but I mean, that's still pretty cool. So I think that this is going to be something that will allow you to sort of blend in an effect at some predetermined value, so you can have it be like, say, 50 or 60% mixed into your signal chain. Not something that I'm going to particularly use, I think, a lot, but it's there for you if you need it. You can also have a plugin doubler. So this is, again, going to be, I think, specific for the actual plugins where you can basically double your plugin inputs. We have plugin gate. So this is just going to be a simple gate. It's not a sidechain gate or anything like that. And then we also have transparent blend. So let's see what this is like. So with this, what we can do is we can kind of add in, some of that effect. So right now I have it sidechained to just the raw amp. So if I actually wanted to, I could put that right here in the signal chain, and I could have mixed in with the IR block, I could just have mixed in the raw amp signal, which obviously is not going to sound so great. But since it's mixed in with the actual IR, it kind of gives us a little bit of a lift in the highs. So if you're looking for something a little bit brighter, you might want to do something like that. You can kind of play around with it. You know, and you can pretty much do that with any of these effects blocks, which is pretty cool. So that is pretty much it as far as utility stuff is concerned. Here we also have our graphic 9. So this is going to be our new sort of EQ. We also have plugin graphic 9. So, all right, so here we just have some new sidechain options for our compressors. So right now we have the legendary 87. Let's just check that out. It's sort of the one that I normally go to when I'm choosing a compressor. And we can change our source if we want. So we can add in a sidechainable envelope filter, and then we'll go here to page 2, and we'll choose the source as our compressor. So as you can see, you can get some really interesting sounds. It's kind of like a, sort of reminds me of things from Tool, like Numa or something like that. But that is pretty cool. We also have some new delays. So we have a circular delay here. So let's see what this sounds like. All right, so that is actually really pretty cool sounding. So yeah, so it's very much a kind of like stereo image type of thing. This sounds really pretty neat. So I think you guys will probably like this quite a bit. Let's throw high pass on, do like 40 or so hertz. That's pretty much all that's new in terms of delays here. Let's check out compressors. Again, all of those are just sort of sidechain variants, nothing particularly new. We also have a new pitch correction device and a new transpose device. So I've seen from some people that the transpose device is actually even better than the pitch shifter was. I know that some people had some issues if you were to be shifting your pitch up. So let's go up by 2 semitones here and see how that sounds. So I'm just going to turn off the delay quick. Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't be pitch shifting up per se. I'm more of a down tuning type of person anyway. So let's see if we go down 2 semitones. Okay, so that is pretty much that. You can also do some pitch correction. So let's say that we are playing in E minor, A440, quantize, we can change the glissando, add a high pass, low pass output. This pitch correction, okay, here. So I can go minor and then E. All right, so So that is a device that I will probably never ever use because it just obviously does some really weird things with your pitch. But it might be useful if you're just doing like basic notes or something like that, like just holding a note for a long time. It'll keep it on pitch. But if you try to bend or do things like that, like it starts to get a little bit funky. Like that doesn't sound right at all. So yeah, so unfortunately, that's a little bit weird. I wonder if we change it to chromatic, what that sounds like. Yeah, so, I mean, it's there if you want it, but I don't really feel like many people are going to be that interested in playing with something like that. But that's pretty much it as far as new device blocks for this update. Some of the other things that they've done, though, are really evident on the actual Quad Cortex. We'll take a look there, and then we'll wrap up. All right, so here we are on the actual Quad Cortex. So if we tap here on this, you're going to be, of course, greeted with your sort of preset manager here. So you're now also, if you are a plugin user, you're going to be having your plugin presets right here. So you'll be able to go through and check those out. Again, I don't have any, so it's not something that I'll be able to show here. But if you are a plugin user, all of the presets are going to be right there. We'll also get this button here. So if you tap on that, we can pretty much select multiple things here. So you can see that we have multi-select, we have 2 selected, and you can bulk copy. You can upload them to the cloud, you can add them to your favorites, or you can bulk delete. So that is a pretty nice thing that they've added recently. You can also sort by instrument, name, date added, author, those types of things. You can also search. So, you know, basically your standard type of stuff. So if you guys are OGs like me and you've been using the Quad Cortex since it was released, you're definitely going to really appreciate all of these new updates and things that they've made to just make your life easier. It's really nice to just be able to now create a new set list. So you can create set lists for all of your different shows, or if you're in multiple bands or things like that, you can have one set list, which is basically a folder for each of your bands, and then you can have all of the presets for each each band in the banks there, so that way you can keep things really nicely organized. And if you need to move lots of things around, having this multi-select feature is definitely something that you are going to really appreciate. But yeah, that's pretty much the major stuff coming with Core OS 3.0. If you guys want a more exhaustive list, I'm going to be leaving Neural's video as a link in my description, so you can go ahead and check that out. They go through everything there, and of course they have access to all of the plugins, so you'll be able to see what they sound like and how they compare to the desktop version. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, definitely be sure to drop a like, share the video with your friends, and anybody that you think might benefit from sort of learning more about this, as well as leaving a comment down below. How long have you guys had your Quad Cortex for? Are you one of the OGs who got it when it was brand new like me, or did you just recently pick it up? Regardless, I want to know, and we'll continue the conversation down below. And if you're not subscribed yet, definitely make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.